there! This is my very first video on this channel. I have other channels though. Talks in medicine and law, conflicts of the law, travels, songwriting, knitting, cooking, etc. But I decided to start a channel where I leave all my skills behind and sit down to talk to you about life at large as a human to humans. I may even knit while I'm talking. Topics will be random, but mostly on issues that bother us the most. Fraud, deception, inheritance, fake victimhood, fake heroism, widespread delirium, false and fabricated accusations, corruption, injustice, budget, politics, arts, and so on. Hence, I find this particular channel more important because it is bound to communicate our concerns or experiences regardless of our degrees, race, creed, occupations, or walks of life. So, let's hit the road, shall we? Today's topic is about how we see or define fraud. My argument is that women and certain men using natural, semi-natural, synthetic or surgical cosmetics or skincare to enhance or improve their looks are committing fraud because they sell being younger, prettier, and handsomer than they really are. The same argument applies to the breast caps, shoulder pads, painted brows, or high heels, which I find really stupid, as the person walking on high platforms or heels conveys an apparent inferiority complex, insecurity about not being tall enough, ruining the spine, or acquiring ugly bunions just to look taller. While I see such a practice as an act of fraud or deception, I absolutely do not mean that such behavior should be prosecuted or litigated. Humans have used skincare or cosmetics since the Paleolithic era, 40,000 years ago. Besides, this type of fraud of looksmaxxing involves investments, sacrifices, and is not secretive. But the point is that such women or men lose their right to preach honesty or judge others for fraud because fraud starts from their very face. Indeed, almost every woman uses skincare or cosmetics, but as you noticed, I use the adverb almost, because there is a small number of women who do not and never did. I belong to that small group. I am 60 and still have an infant skin because I never altered it with cleansers, toners, serums, moisturizers, tans or foundations. Nothing. No lotions, no creams, no powders, no shaving, no epilators, no painted brows. You see me in the exact way I wake up in the morning. I only apply slight mascara on the eyelashes and a touch of lipstick when I stream online or have a meeting. That's it. My facial or body skin has never been altered or enhanced, and the credit goes to my paternal grandma, Natalia, who was naturally a very beautiful woman with marble white skin and who instructed me when I was 15 years old to never apply anything to my skin. Because of her invaluable advice, I saved a countless amount of money and time. Yes, I am aging, it shows. My cheeks are hanging a bit, and there are a few dark spots already. But that's what it should be, and I'm not fighting it. Why would I paint myself for others? I do not have bags under my eyes, nor wrinkles, nor I need Botox or facelift. I still have my 32 natural teeth. Of course, not in a perfect shape, as I am a heavy black tea drinker, but they still serve me. Skin is chiefly vulnerable to addiction to external aid or nourishment. Once you started it, you become a triple S, SSS, which stands for sad and silly slave of the cosmetic industry. Remember, with a few exceptions such as burns, cuts, surgical scars, the etiology of skin disorders has little to do with skin itself. The body's largest organ, skin is a very complex organ, not just a layer. Its health and rustic looks depend on our metabolism, diet, breathing, excretion, sleeping, immune defense, healthy sexual life, etc. We were not born with a lifetime supply of skincare, lotions, or serums. Skin is able to take care of itself if you do not alter its homeostasis. Do not apply even honey or fruit peels. Do nothing. Check one of my books, Skin Silk, where I also discuss the essential trace elements responsible for a shining skin. Hair is appendage of skin. I always hold short haircuts, so I will just do this by hands and be ready for public interface. No thermal styling, no curling or straightening, no pressing. Just using a simple hairdresser from a Dollar Tree store. My hairdressing takes less than 10 seconds. During my younger years, when I was working full-time, I was work-ready leaving my house 10-12 minutes after I woke up. Nails too are appendages of skin or the integumentary system. I give a huge credit to my mom who timely alerted me to never visit nail salons for cuticle trimming or nail polish. Her advice saved my nails, keeping them in the very best shape. As a surgeon, healthy nails are vigorously imperative for me. I just cut my nails when they grow. I never used manicures or polish and never bothered the cuticles. Once I do, I have to keep doing it, and it is dangerous for a surgeon to have micro-wounded surfaces from trimming the cuticles. Now, let's move to defining fraud. My favorite source, the Cornell Legal Information Institute, describes fraud as an intentional act of deception or the omission of material facts designed to secure an unfair or unlawful gain or to cause financial harm to another. Now, there are 5 mandatory elements of fraud that should be proven in the courts of law. And to make my case, I'm going to list them to see how they relate to the cosmetic practices, or shall we say, the fraud of Looksmaxxing. Material misrepresentation. Check. Knowledge of falsity. Check. The woman uses skincare knowingly and voluntarily to enhance her looks. Intent to deceive. This comes without saying, so check. Justifiable reliance. The partner, spouse, or date who is misled by artificially enhanced beauty reasonably relies on such fake optics. So check. Damage transferred. Now this one is tricky. Women will argue that skincare is their personal choice, which does not harm anybody. Not exactly, because Looksmaxxing is contagious. Especially in our era of online influencers, there are women with age who really do not need or want cosmetic enhancement, but who have concerns that if they do not use expensive skincare, Botox or facelift, they may seem to be poor or uncool. So there is damage transfer. Another damage is transferred to the partners or spouses of those women, as with each kiss or skin-to-skin contact, there is a risk of chemical hazard exposure and consumption. Some skincare products contain endocrine disrupting ingredients that can modify hormonal system or contribute to cancer. Enough for this episode. I welcome your questions or comments. See you next time. So long.